Hey there, dreamers and fellow romantics. Pull up a cloud or find your coziest corner. My name's Sky, and sometimes my world, flat as it is, feels like it's bursting with stories. Especially the ones that leave a sparkle in your heart, even if they make your eyes a little misty. You know, those epic, sweeping tales that feel bigger than life itself? The kind where two souls meet against an impossible backdrop, and for a fleeting moment, the whole universe just makes sense. Well, I've got one of those for you tonight. It's a tale of whispers carried on the wind, of starlit decks, and a connection so profound it truly soared. It's a story about a magnificent airship, a journey across endless skies, and a love that defied the very clouds it sailed through. Think grand, think beautiful, think celestial dreamer. And trust me, you'll want to hear every beat of this pixelated heartthrob. Ready to drift away with me? Let's begin. It all started, as many grand adventures do, with a journey. Not just any journey, but across the vast, shimmering expanse of the Azure Ocean, on the most magnificent airship ever conceived, the Celestial Dreamer. She wasn't just a vessel, she was a floating palace, an entire city suspended between the clouds and the waves, carrying dreams and destinies across the world. And I, Elara, with my simple painted dress and eyes wide with wonder, was one of those dreamers. I was a sketch artist, you see, a humble one, but I poured my whole flat-shaded heart into capturing the fleeting beauty of the world. My ticket to the Celestial Dreamer was a gift, a scholarship for emerging artists, and it felt like I was stepping into another dimension. The ship was a marvel, all gleaming brass, polished wood, and enormous panoramic windows that offered views of fluffy cloudscapes and the endless blue below. I spent my days in the grand saloon, sketching passengers, their joyous faces, their elegant attire, the subtle emotions that danced across their features. Then I saw him. He wasn't in the grand saloon, not at first. I was out on the upper deck, trying to capture the way the sunset bled into the horizon, painting the clouds in hues of rose and lavender. He was standing by the railing, silhouetted against the fiery sky, his posture radiating a quiet strength. His hair was a deep, rich brown, swept back gently by the wind, and when he turned, his eyes, the color of twilight, met mine for just a fleeting moment. My pencil paused mid-stroke. He wasn't like the other wealthy passengers. There was a depth to his gaze, a hint of something more profound than mere extravagance. His name was Julian. I learned this a few days later, quite by accident. I was sketching a particularly intricate chandelier in the main dining hall, completely lost in the details, when a soft voice beside me said, "That's a remarkable interpretation of light. You've really captured its sparkle." I looked up, startled, and there he was, Julian, standing over my shoulder. My cheeks, I swear, flushed a shade of digital pink. "Oh, thank you," I stammered, feeling utterly out of my element. I just try to see the world as it truly is, and then add a little bit of my own perspective. He smiled, and it was a warm, genuine smile that reached his eyes. "That's a beautiful philosophy. I'm Julian." "Elara," I managed, feeling my heart do a little flip-flop inside my chest. From that day on, a quiet, almost magical connection began to weave between us. We'd often bump into each other by the observation lounge, in the ship's sprawling library, or most often on the decks, where the wind carried whispers of the world below. He was a scientist, a botanist fascinated by rare cloud-dwelling flora, which he studied from the ship's unique vantage point. He spoke with such passion about the delicate ecosystems floating above the earth, his eyes alight with curiosity. I would listen, completely captivated, sometimes sketching the imaginary flowers he described, or the swirling patterns of the clouds that mirrored his words. He, in turn, was fascinated by my art. He'd watch me sketch, sometimes for hours, offering quiet observations that always surprised me with their insight. "You don't just draw what you see, Elara," he once said, looking at a charcoal sketch of an elderly couple dancing. "You draw what they feel." It was the most profound compliment I had ever received. We were from different worlds on that ship, He, from the opulent upper decks, surrounded by societal expectations and the weight of his family's legacy. I from the more modest lower decks, with nothing but my art and an insatiable curiosity about life. Yet on the celestial dreamer, those distinctions blurred. We found common ground in shared silences, in stolen glances across crowded rooms, and in the late-night conversations under the vast, star-dusted dome of the sky. One evening, as the ship glided silently through a sea of stars, Julian found me on the very tip of the bow, my arms spread wide, feeling the wind rush past me. "It feels like we're flying," I whispered, eyes closed. He came to stand beside me, not too close, but close enough for me to feel the warmth of his presence. "We are," he said softly. "In a way, we always are. Every moment is a journey." He then did something utterly spontaneous. He took my hand, a gentle, almost reverent touch that sent a jolt through my entire being. My 2D hand, with its simple lines, felt surprisingly real in his. He led me to a small, secluded corner of the deck, away from the glittering lights of the ship's socialites. He showed me a constellation he'd discovered himself, a faint cluster of stars he called Elara's Cascade, because, he said, it reminded him of the way my sketches seemed to flow effortlessly onto the page. We spent hours there just talking, sharing our dreams. I told him about my desire to see the world, to capture every face, every landscape, every emotion in my art. He spoke of wanting to understand the secrets of the sky, to protect its fragile beauty. There was a quiet understanding between us, a promise unspoken that transcended the journey, the ship, even our different stations in life. It was a love that grew not from grand gestures, but from shared glances, mutual respect, and the profound joy of simply being in each other's presence. As the journey neared its end, a bittersweet melancholy settled over us. We knew our time was limited. He had obligations, a life awaiting him on the ground. I had my art and the vast, uncertain path of a budding artist. One final night, we stood on the deck again, the ship's destination visible as a faint glow on the horizon. The air was crisp, and the ocean below seemed to stretch into eternity. "Elara," he began, his voice a low rumble, "this journey, it has changed me. You have changed me." My heart hammered. "And you, Julian," I replied, looking up at his gentle profile. "You've shown me a world beyond what I could ever draw." He turned to me then, his twilight eyes searching mine. "I don't know what the future holds, Elara, but I know this, you and your art will always be a part of my sky." He reached out, not to hold me, but to gently cup my cheek, his thumb brushing my painted skin. It was a tender, chaste touch, but it spoke volumes. It said, "I see you, I cherish you." The ship eventually docked, its grand adventure concluded. We stood together at the gangplank, a silent understanding passing between us. There were no dramatic declarations, no desperate promises, just a shared gaze, a lingering memory of hands held under starlight, and the quiet knowledge that some connections are so profound, they transcend physical presence. We parted ways, he into his world, I into mine. I never saw Julian again in person, but I carried him with me always. Every cloudscape I drew, every delicate flower I observed, every starry night sky I gazed upon held a piece of him. And I knew, with an unwavering certainty that only a 2D heart can hold, that somewhere he was looking up at the same sky, remembering Elara's Cascade and the quiet artist who showed him the unseen beauty of the celestial dreamer. It wasn't a love story with a happily ever after in the conventional sense, but it was a love that opened up new worlds, painted life in brighter colors, and left an indelible mark on my soul. And sometimes, that's the most romantic story of all. And that, my friends, is where our tale aboard the Celestial Dreamer comes to a gentle close. A love story, not of grand finales, but of unforgettable beginnings and eternal memories. It's the kind that reminds me that even in our 2D world or yours, the deepest connections are truly limitless. If this journey across the clouds and through the heart resonated with you, if it left a little sparkle in your soul, then please give this video a gentle like. And if you'd love to hear more stories from my ever-dreaming heart, don't forget to subscribe. It helps me know you're out there, listening, and that means the world to me. Until next time, keep dreaming those big, beautiful dreams. Goodbye for now.